Let's mingle a bit and meet up again afterwards. Mingle? Oh, Elizabeth sobbed. I wish I had gotten to know her. She meant so much to you all. Do you think you could tell me a bit about what kind of person she was? Elizabeth always knew how important it was for us to be together and stand as one. I think she understands better than anyone. I can't stop thinking about when Elizabeth first came to Jorvik's stables to ride her first horse. Did she crash and burn? Was she a great rider? Oh, she would be, but I dare say it takes her more than a bit of work to get there. If Elizabeth had met her Concord when she first arrived at Jorvik, perhaps she would have had a little more help from Odine in figuring out her ways around a horse. But as fate would have it, we hadn't found her star breed. Poor girl, she was stuck taking her first steps as a sole rider in training, with one of our training horses. Riding didn't come easy to Elizabeth, never seen a girl so timid around a horse. But she came back day after day, not just to ride, but to learn everything about stable life. She wasn't afraid to get her boots dirty, and she never gave up. Determined to succeed in whichever task she attempts. It sounds like she never changed much in that aspect. She used to have so much love for all the horses, too. That was one girl I could tell was shining strongly with Odine's light. When I first got the news of what happened to her, can you guess what my first thought was? You were in denial. That was you'd expect, but my first thought was, oh no, I never returned her hairbrush. Once I caught myself thinking like that, I was distraught. Why would that matter now? For some reason, I couldn't help but think about it. You'd be surprised how difficult it is to get a decent delivery of a hair product when you live in a cave. So I often ended up borrowing things from Elizabeth. What? You guys shared hair products? You guys shared brushes? Excuse me? She had better hair anyway, so we could swap self-care tips. Thinking about these silly little memories and realizing that they are all gone now, it's just difficult to comprehend. It wasn't until Lucian climbed upon my robe and gave me a comforting nudge that I realized I had been crying. Aww. Strange things how we deal with grief, isn't it? She was gone, and a hairbrush was what made me break down. Aww, that's sweet. I remember the first time we went riding outside the stables. Once the beginners learn to sit on their horses without falling off, I like to take them on a short hack just around the Greendale area. It's a short and easy road with a few obstacles. On this ride, though, something spooked a horse. Before I could calm it down, it had flown straight into the thick Greendale canopy in a panic. I was standing there in shock, thought one of the thick, large bushes might have knocked her off her horse. Imagine my surprise when just a few minutes later she came back unscathed, having to manage to cling onto her horse, but calm the panicked critter down. Something happened out there in the woods. I tried to pry it out of her, but she just smiled and says it's a secret between her and the runestones. To see her ride after that, it was as if she had been around horses for years, as if she had been so inclined she could have been one heck of a cross-country rider. But, well, destiny had other plans for her. Amazing things about star breeds that since they are destined to bond with one special soul, always reflect an aspect on their rider, like a puzzle piece waiting to snap together. When it comes to soul riders and their star breeds, I've noticed that the rider will start to reflect the spirit of the horse, and the closer their bond. Okay. You probably heard stories about Concord and Anne's first ride. Oh boy, that horse was full of himself. He didn't just trot around the stables, he strutted. How much of that was born of Concord, and how much from that came from what Anne needed at the time? It's hard to say. But every Concord I've met, and this makes 3 generations, beams with pride. Elizabeth Sunbeam was strong and determined from the day we first met, but she was shy. She let others take credit of her accomplishments. After she found her Concord, her confidence blossomed. She embraced her talents and wouldn't let any man push her to the sidelines. She earned a reputation as a bit of a firebrand, stirring up trouble, and she broke more than a few hearts in those days. She was something else. Concord just didn't let Elizabeth become a soul rider through their bond. He helped her see that she could be a leader. Excusing myself from this talk. I could have been a druid, it was my birthright, but I'm too much of a wanderer. I love mysteries that send me off to far-off places, but a proper druid stays rooted in the earth. I think Elizabeth could have related. She came to Jorvik as a wanderer, but her destiny required to put her roots down, first as a soul rider, later as a keeper of a dean. Between adventures, nothing gave me so much pleasure as lunch with Elizabeth. She always had a fresh loaf of bread, of her amazing banana bread ready. Okay. Payment, she told me, for the tales I'd spin for her by the fireplace. Whenever the pass to Dino Valley opened up, she would ride to the great elevator and ride along into the wilderness. Whenever we crossed paths, she'd tell me she was there on important druid business, to gather calstones or icicles or whatever you have, but I knew better. The way she smiled as she rode through the deep snow with Cathral. She looked just like a young girl, eyes full of wonder, seeing the miracles of Jorvik for the first time. I went with her once. She seemed so excited. I wish I had been able to see more of that Elizabeth. That is the nice thing with memorials, my dear. No single person acts the same way in every situation. Apprentice, mentor, friend, leader. Everybody here has seen a different side of Elizabeth, and here we can share all these sides and remember her together. For me, she'd always be the fiery-haired teen stowaway who ran to Jorvik to make a difference. stole away. This I have to hear. As a friend to the keepers of ゚, I often get cryptic requests to deliver cargo to and from Jorvik. I try not to ask too many questions, since if it's ゚'s will, that is all I need to know. Now, this one time, 30 years ago, my contract, the spy master, not that fellow, his predecessor. He tells me, Captain Bruce, I want you to dock at this particular port at this exact day. I do what I do there. I ask him. Nothing, he says, just stay an hour, then disembark. No cargo to collect. I ask him if ゚ wills it, he says. We dock at the agreed place on time, and I waited top deck watching for any signs of cargo, but I saw nothing. I figured this time maybe the keepers of ゚ had it wrong. It wasn't until we were well out of sea that I discovered the hidden cargo hiding under a tarp in a lifeboat. It was young Elizabeth, shivering, wet, and half-starved. Poor thing. Oh dear, what happened? I took her up to my cabin and fixed her up with tea and sandwiches, and listened as she told me about the wicked home she was fleeing, about the strange dreams that haunted her of late, and she showed me a mark that appeared on her leg around the same time. A mark I realized all too well. It's on your parka, Nick. It's a runestone of this island, and it marks our friend Anne von Blisslin. I can't say her surname. Okay, I can't say her surname. You can yell at me in the comments about that. It was the mark of the sun. She says she didn't know why she came to the port and snuck onto my ship that day, only that she had to. ゚'s will, I suppose. It was my honor and privilege to bring Elizabeth to Jorvik. I would see her many more times as she came into her destiny as a soul rider, and we would work together many times after tragedy brought her sisterhood to a premature end. But no matter how dark the storm clouds, Miss Elizabeth would always shine with the light of that stowaway who came to Jorvik chasing a dream. She was the girl who gave her name and became a sunbeam. I wish we had been closer in life. The keepers of ゚ don't look kindly on witches, and Elizabeth had her own reasons to distrust witchcraft. Despite these difficulties, I have nothing but respect and admiration of her. As the leader of the keepers of ゚, in a difficult time and place, I'd like to think we would have been good friends. I think Elizabeth would have came to trust you. I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. That's very kind of you to say, my dear. For an old lady such as me, nothing tears at my heart more than seeing someone younger leave this world before their time. It is not the order of things. Burdens of fate can be insufferable. Elizabeth knew it all too well. And now you and your young friends are trapped in the spell. If it ever feels like the weight of the world is too great to bear, do come and see me, dearie. I might not have all the answers, but I will help how I can. And the grass in my yard is particularly sweet in case Midnight Madness is hungry. Oh, thank you. Okay, let's talk to Alex and Maya. I wish I could have known her better. I'd say hi to Elizabeth whenever I came to Valedale to see Anne, but I always felt a little awkward around her. Don't get me wrong, she was always super polite, but it's like she was always waiting for me to put my own foot in my mouth. You did kinda sneak into the secret stone circle. I don't think we've ever seen Fripp so angry. I wanted to know how I could be a great hero, just like you. I'm your hero? Wow. Such are the settings. These jumping bars are a bit low, huh? Being a hero doesn't really turn out to be all that's cracked up to be. That doesn't sound like the Alex I know. The Alex I know wouldn't spend time pitying herself. She'd get out there, smite her enemies, and return triumphant to me to crash on my couch and eat all my cheese curls. Alex! What? Can I say being a hero makes me hungry? And you always seem to have plenty of cheese curls. Last group. So where is your rose, Heather? What rose? A rose? You knew Elizabeth? A rose? Question mark? I don't have a rose. Nobody gave me one. A rose? What's a rose? Elizabeth loved wild roses. I thought it'd be the perfect dress code to a memorial. I wanted to plant a rose bush here to honor her memory, but it isn't nearly enough. So I should plant a whole garden of wild roses. Oh my word. For Elizabeth, it would be enough to know you are here to remember her. Well, I don't think that's enough. Everybody in Jorvik should be here grieving for her. All that she went through for them. I should have at least planted one wild rose growing strong in the light of the sun. It would have been a fitting tribute to my best friend. You knew her? What? What's her story with her? Is her best friend? She said that. So they knew each other. Somebody gotta tell me what's their story, please. I want to know what is their story.
Braver. We all came here today for a last goodbye. Leave a rose on a grave of a mother. We will ride again, we will ride again. Like the sun, you live on a new dawn. Cross the morning sky in our hearts. You live on. It's time to say goodbye, say goodbye, say goodbye. We hold our head up high and with tears in your eyes, we face the first of days without you here beside. It's time to say goodbye, say goodbye. We face the first of days without you here beside. It's time to say goodbye. We inherited all of your magic, saw the fire we carry inside of us. We will honor your courage forever, never rest until your dream is done. Like the sun, you live on a new dawn. Cross the morning sky in our hearts. You live on and on and on. It's time to say goodbye, say goodbye, say goodbye. We hold our head up high with tears in our eyes. We face the first of days without you here beside. It's time to say goodbye, say goodbye. We face the first of days
Right. Oh my word. Hi, horses. I feel for Concord. She's still too young to comprehend what really happened. But she can feel that something is wrong. Ah, poor Concord. One son has faded from this world, and it pains our little sister. Old friend, listen to the music around you. Elizabeth lives on in Lisa's song and in the memories of those who loved her. She lives on in you, Concord. The bond you shared is part of you for all time until Adine returns. The legacy of every soul rider of the sun lives on in you. Aww. Sweetie, sad. That's so sad. He's sad. Hey guys. When I was young, Elizabeth used to take me out in nature, teach me about the herbs and plants, where to find the best place to forage. She was, always supportive. She never judged me for referring to the company of animals to people. She always supported me in my crafts as well. I didn't know if I could ever become a master of the Druid craftswoman like my grandmother, but Elizabeth encouraged me and gave me confidence. We all are lucky we had someone like that to lead us. I wish I had taken the effort to get to know her better. She was always treating the creatures of the forest with great respect. Bleeper liked her. Aw, Bleeper, he's a cutie. I love him. Somebody else is glowing. We need to catch them. What's Raina? Katharina will need someone to look after her now. And I think she'll need someone to look after you too. You would make a great team together. Raina, I don't even know if I have time to look after a puppy, much less a horse. Between council matters and tending to Fripp. What about you, Raina? What about Evergrey? My brother, but he's very embodiment of irresponsibilities. This is actually perfect, Heather. Hey, Evergrey. Yes, I am right here. I just got something in my eye is all. Oh, poor guy. Yay. Oh, aren't you a friendly fella? I have to say I'm deeply sorry for your loss. I didn't always get along, but Elizabeth was truly the best to all of us. Aww, oh, it's so cute. She does seem to like you, brother. You two are cute together. How would you like a four-legged hoofed companion for life, Evergrey? Shakes. No? She seems fine with me, but objects to being called cute. You two have something in common then. Hey, I'm adorable. As I see it, the two of you are already forming a bond. Katharina will need someone to look after her. You could need someone to teach you about responsibilities. It would be very nice to have somebody that could take me where I need to go. I can't keep hitchhiking rides with Heather forever. How about it, girl? Aww, that's so cute. I'm so glad they were able to get her some money. Let's see, the parties or the memorial's over though, guys. Looks like people are starting to leave. Let's have a short meetup. Sole riders only. 200 character XP? Yeah, definitely coming for that meetup. I never realized how many lives Elizabeth had touched. It was amazing to see so many gathered here for the ceremony. I'm still tearing up from your song. She looks angry. Why does she look angry? Lisa Elizabeth would have loved it. I overheard Avalon quietly sobbing beneath his hood as he was leaving. He tries not to show it, but this has been hard on him. How are you feeling, Heather? I still feel lost. I'm glad I got the chance to know her. Me too. What do we do now? What becomes of us now? What do we do now? What becomes of us now? They're both asking the same question. They're just said differently. What do we do now? Oh my word. Now we act. Our mission doesn't die with Elizabeth. We are soul riders. We ride on. But where do we even start? We are going to need to do something about Concord. I can't very well go into battle with a foal. Fripp is still in a coma as well. Right. There's obviously some issues we still need to deal with. But we could deal with them together. Nothing is over. This is just another beginning. We should take some time to think about it, try to gather our thoughts, and then decide what to do next. In the meantime, we should make sure we get some time to hang out together. Now then, none of us are in active peril. And make sure we spend some time with our families and loved ones as well. Perhaps our first course of action will need to be get something edible. It feels highly inappropriate to graze upon these grounds. This rose is starting to really itch on my tail, and I'm ready to get going. Alex, let me talk to you. Elizabeth will always be a part of me, part of us all. We will keep her spirit alive by using the lessons she passed on to us. I know I have friends that I can rely on, and I will keep trying my best to be the hero she saw in me. I hope she will be watching us, wherever she is. Goodbye, Elizabeth, and I'll always love you. Oh, I got earrings. Bye, guys. And then we get slow motion into the flames. Nice. Aww. That's so cute.